Hi guys, it's Anna. This is Ben, but Anna will be talking right now. I just wanted to apologize for the delay and for how my voice might sound for the uploads coming out today or the next couple days. I am sick and I might sound a little congested and a little funny, and I have tissues with me, and we're good. We're good. I don't have a cough anymore, so that shouldn't be annoying to anyone because it shouldn't be happening. Cool. Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our
Today we're watching Bakemonogatari Season 1, Episode 12. This is technically the last episode according to Crunchyroll, but as you guys know, we're not watching on Crunchyroll because that's not a good way to go about things. We have the next 3 episodes available to us, but we believe that there's some kind of like OVAs. So would you guys like us to watch the next 3 episodes or move right on to the next Monogatari series? Please let us know. But in regards to last episode, we're finally getting information about Hanekawa. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Honestly, once we got her, like, I would think that would be the ending of Bakemonogatari. Yeah. I mean, I would think maybe Aragi and Shinobu would possibly be a finale, but I feel like Hanekawa also makes sense.
But
there.
That also depends on what future Monogatari series are and what they hold and what their cast looks like.
Is there one that's like totally like prologue Aragi, you know?
Yeah.
Which, if it existed, I'm totally down to watch that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm down to watch all of it, but
ready?
I love a prologue. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sweet. Senjukahara.
I love the hair up.
The hair up looks amazing.
Feed him. Feed him. Terrified.
Good.
You should be. Please, like, lick it off or something. Oh, okay.
No, there's a little bit left.
Just leave, like,
just one grain.
Grain? Okay. Put it in your mouth. Oh.
So I thought.
We have Senjukahara's opening.
Yeah. Do you think Senjukahara only puts her hair up when she's eating?
Or it was just super hot, because I think her sleeves were rolled up too.
Oh, what a good shot. Earlier.
Where are we going on our first date?
We need the driver.
See, I thought maybe they just called a cab or something. A long night. She's brutal.
It's amazing. It's abnormal, Araraki. Yeah.
機嫌がどうとかじゃなくてな。
ああ、頭が悪いのね。
何上司で言いたいだけのことを言ったな。
ツッコミだけはいつだってわんぱくなのね。じゃあ親切にも私から話を振ってあげます。荒木くんはそれに答えてくれれば。
Easy question, like, do you love me? Oh my,
Oh my
god,
god.
no!
キリしてるよ。クソ。夢が叶ったくらいの気持ちでいたのに。
夢だなんて大げさな。
戦場があら、お前本当にどういうつもりなんだよ。
のかしら。それともお父さんのことを指しているのかしら。
え？
お父さん、荒木くん。
Oh no.
No!
僕が呼んだのは北木さんです。
何かしら。
お前は呼ばない。
First date? First time calling the first name?
で、北木さん、お前どういうつもりなんだよ。何を企んでいるんだ。
何も企んでなんていないわよ。黒岩瑠衣子という高名な推理作家がいるんだ。この人の名前分解すると黒い悪い子になるのよ。これってわざとやってるんだと思う？
どうでもいいよそんな笑い。黒い子も悪い子もお前のことだ。
親の前でひどいことを言うわね。お父さん、あなたの娘は黒い子で悪い子らしいわ。
And he's like, true. What if that's not even her dad and she's just playing him?
Would love it.
荒木くんって反応がいいからついついへこましたくなっちゃうのよ。
お前は僕のどういうところが好きなんだ？
優しいところ、可愛いところ、私が困っている時にはいつだって助けに来てくれる王子様。
Accurate. All of those things. Yep. So cute.
そういえばゴミ、いえ、荒木くん。
今お前自分の彼氏をゴミと言いかけたか。
何を言っているの
Enough of your baseless accusations.
そんなことより荒木くん、この前の実力テスト、ほら、私が私の家で二人きりで昼となく夜となく
Oh my god.
面倒を見てあげたじゃない。で、どうだったの？
お前のおかげだ。ありがとう、戦場が原。
お父さん、荒木くんがお父さんにお礼を言っているみたいなんだけど。
Hitsugi.
ありがとう、下着さん。
本当は試験が終わった直後に答え合わせができるとよかったのだけれど。
That's true.
今の荒木くんにそこまで求めるのは酷よね。
It's not unreasonable.
To demand.
てっきりあんなに勉強したけれど、いつもよりむしろ点数は悪かったです。
Because he was so allured by your presence that he couldn't concentrate. It is disappointing.
あらそう。でも本当に大したものだわ。褒めてあげる。その調子なら荒木くん、もっと上を目指せるかもしれないわよ。
上をね。
荒木くんさえ良ければだけれど、これからも。
Yes.
じゃあこれからは毎日私の家でお勉強ね。
毎日？頭のいいやつはやっぱそれくらい勉強してるもんなのか？
Yes.
いいえ、
That's
そんなの荒木
smart people do that.
決まっているじゃないの。
でも羽川は毎日のように勉強してるみたいだけど。
You're bringing up Hanekawa?
している勉強、荒木くん。私たちが言うところの勉強とは残念ながらランクが違うのよ。羽川さんが満点。
I think you ruined the mood, dude.
それは試験問題の
Wow.
損ないなのよ。それってどのくらいプレッシャーになるのかと思う。
Pressure, stress.
羨ましいとは言えないわね。
Can't say I'm jealous.
プレッシャーか。
あるいはストレス。
ストレスね。
The headaches.
荒木くんだってカンバルとは遊びたいって。
No, we're buds.
そりゃな、面白いやつだし。そうだ、カンバルのことなんだけど。
The music.
カンバルがどうかしたの？
あいつはどうしてあんなにエロいんだ？
エロい？
あの星野ですらこの間話した時にカンバルのことはスポーツキャラじゃなくてエロキャラだと認識していたみたいだぞ。
そうかしら。それは男性側の視
From a
点だから
male
そう
point of view.
On the same page.
あの子はただ自分に正直なだけよ。私としては私の可愛い後輩がエロいなどという偏見に見舞われているのを看過できない。
What do you mean she's not the sporty character?
どうするかって荒木くんの中の判断基準。
Oh my god.
そうすればカンバルのことなんてむしろ純真無垢な女の子に見えてくるわ。
The red ear.
といった感じでどうかしら、荒木くん。
もう
He's in shambles.
北木さん
On empty.
荒木くんはここで少し待っていて。
Oh no.
私が一人で先に行って準備して。
Prepare.
準備って
Are you gonna have a conversation?
寒暖
No.
No!
Hello, Senjugahara, sir.
This is terrifying.
This is exciting.
荒木くんとか言ってね。
はい、荒木暦です。
そうか。娘をよろしく頼む。
He probably wants his daughter to be happy.
下着と過ごす時間なんてほとんど持てていない。だからそんな僕に言われても説得力を感じないかもしれないが、あんなに楽しそうな下着は久しぶりに見たよ。
Oh.
下着の母親のことはもう聞いてるね。
はい。
まあそれだけじゃないし、無論仕事ばかりにかまけていた僕の責任も少なからずあるが。
Like if he probably blames himself a bit.
でもこの間久しぶりに、本当に久しぶりに下着から頼み事をされたよ。
Oh, well, I bet that
仕
made him
事を
happy.
手伝わせてほしいと。そして今回だ。両方君が絡んでいる。あの子を変えることができるなんて、荒木くんは本当に大したものだと思うよ。
でもそんなのたまたまだと思いますよ。
そうかい。下着の病気を治すのにも君が一役買ってくれたと聞いているが。
それに下着さんはあくまで一人で助かっただけで。
Oh,
Ooh, I love that.
立ち会ったに過ぎません。
それでいいんだよ。
it's all you have to do.
必要な時にそこにいてくれたという
It's what you
事実
should do.
はただそれだけのことで何にも増してありがたいものだ。だがこんな父親でもあれは自慢の娘でね。
As you should be.
僕は娘の見る目を信用している。あれが連れてくる男なら間違いないだろう。娘をよろしく頼むよ、荒木くん。
お父さん、ここから先は若い二人の時間ということで。
Us young
く
people.
れてありがとう。さあ、荒木くん。
What is this date? He said, or so I thought. So what's gonna happen?
お父さん、
I
We're
am
just
so
going.
excited.
We're going off in the woods. It's dark.
おい、戦場があら、いつまでこんな格好で。
Secret special romantic location. And you can't know where it is because she never wants you to be able to take anyone else here?
目を閉じて横になりなさい。
Wow.
Whoa!
Away from all the light pollution.
あれがデネブ、アルタイル、ベガ。
The beginning of the outro! Summer
そこから横
triangle.
にスーッとそれて、あの辺りが蛇使い座。
Snake
Snake
holder.
holder.
だから蛇座はあの辺りに並んでいる星になるわね。あっちにカニ座はちょっと判別し。
Cancer the crab.
これで全部よ。
何がだ？
私が持っているもの全部。勉強を教えてあげられること。可愛い後輩とぶっきらぼうなお父さん。それにこの星空。私が持っているのはこれくらいのもの。私が荒木くんにあげられるのはこれくらいのもの。まあ厳密に言えば毒舌や暴言がある。
They're worth a lot.
それに私自身の肉体というのもあるけれど。けれど知っているでしょう。私はその昔ゲスな男に乱暴されかけたことがある。
ああ、
あのゲスが私にしようとしたことを荒木くんとするのは正直言って怖いわ。私は今荒木くんを嫌いになることがとても怖い。私は今荒木くんを失うのがでもね、これまでの私の人生はあんまり幸福とは言えないものだったけれど、不幸だからこそ荒木くんの気を引けたというのはそれで良かったと思う。それくらい私は荒木くんに参ってしまっている。だから絶対に何とかするから少しだけそれは待ってほしい。だから私が現時点で荒木くんにあげられるものは今のところこの星空が最後。私の宝物。
I bet her father knew that too, obviously, right?
私のこと好き。
好きだよ。
私も好きよ。私のどういうところが好き？
全部好きだ。好きじゃないところはない。
そう、嬉しいわ。
お前は僕のどういうところが好きなんだ？
優しいところ、可愛いところ。私が困っている時にはいつだって助けて
Not a single lie was told.
王子様みたいなところ。
She'll say it in front of her father.
そういえばあのゲスは私の体だけが目当てだったから私の唇を奪おうとは全くしなかったわね。
ふーん。
Maybe there's something that you else you want to give.
キスをします。キスをしていただけませんか？キスをしたらどうなんです？
How much that must mean
キスをしましょう。あら
for
ら。
her.
最終的にそう落ち着くか。こうして今日は記念すべき日になった僕たちにとって。
I want to see so much more of them because I love them so much. But if I never saw them ever again, I'd be the happiest person on earth. You know what I mean? Without you, she's all alone.
The fact that the outro and the lyrics make so much more sense
Yeah.
and feels... That's what I said about the opening, getting Senjugahara's opening for this episode. And when did I change?
I'm assuming this is the OVA? What?
Tsubasa Cat
Part
Part
three.
3. That sounds pretty important.
It doesn't sound like an OVA contextually. I don't know. Okay, that was Bakemonogatari Season 1, Episode 12. It does, it does feel like, well, it doesn't even feel like, at the end of the episode in the preview, it's like
It
Part
called
3.
Yeah, it said Part 3 of Tsubasa Cat.
Then I feel like it's should be watched, no?
But it's like intriguing because in terms of content of what this episode was, if we hadn't seen what that preview thing was at the very end, and that Tsubasa Cat Part 3 was then on the screen, I could have totally believed that what we just witnessed was a finale episode of the series.
Not only that, but I would have not assumed that this episode's title would be Tsubasa Cat Part 2. I would have assumed that it would be something in relation to Senjugahara or Araragi himself.
Right, so if we think about it in terms, like, you name things specifically for a reason. This episode is titled Tsubasa Cat Part 2. Hanakawa's, influence on this episode was minimal at best. But I would say what was said about her was incredibly leading and important. What I mean by leading is that it is leading us to believe that something is going to happen with Hanakawa soon.
Bringing up her pressure.
And then stress being the word. And what we got last episode was Hanakawa kind of insisting that things were different with her, that she's okay. We know that she's looking forward to being able to just go off and explore and leave and feel actual relief and freedom from whatever she's putting onto herself or others are putting onto her, or she's putting onto herself for the sake of others, not wanting to be a burden. And we have I honestly, when she was first brought up in this car, I thought that was going to be a bad thing. I was like, oh, Aragi's going to get some quick quip from Senjugahara. Oh, you're bringing up another girl.
About another girl while I'm touching you.
Yeah. I thought it was just going to be utilized as like a funny quip and banter point of like, oh, you're going to bring up other girls right now. But Senjugahara is really genuine with her response to Hanakawa being like, honestly, it makes me feel really good because I feel like there are moments where we get to see what is, I would say, if you take away all of the verbal insults, even though that's fun, there is a lot of healthy aspects of how they treat each other and their relationship. And I would say this scene is 100% one of those. Like, they are able to talk about female friendships and Araragi having genuine female friendships and Senjugahara not being so jealous of of him being friends or caring about other females.
One of the reasons why I love Senjigahara so much isn't the face value banter of it. I've tried to explain it before, but there's so much that I resonate with in how she chooses and when she chooses to approach that banter. When it comes to Kanbaru, right? Like in respond, like you'd assume that in bringing up lewd in the same sentence as Kanbaru, that one might have an insecurity inside if you're Senjigahara about why would my boyfriend be thinking this girl is lewd.
Lewd, you know, male POV of it.
Yeah, but within that, you could also realize that that insecurity is absurd because you know nothing's actually going on and it's just that, an insecurity. So in bringing it up in dialogue and in a quick quip and like kind of jab, you're self-analyzing your own insecurity and bringing it up in front in conversation to let it be known that it's there, but quickly jabbing and defeating it by not going about it in the way that I initially thought it would be, by explaining why Kanbaru is so innocent, but by showing your love for this person and going further with those lewd things and intimacy with Araragi. It's so good. And then in Hanakawa's case, it's like that wasn't even on the table and being brought up. It was just genuine, serious feelings, so it was met with a genuine, serious response. One of the best lines about Hanakawa was if Hanakawa can't score 100, then the test itself is at fault. Yeah. I loved that.
And then, sorry.
Just to like top it off with my love for Senjigahara this episode in the series, like just driving by on the highway, it's written, there's not a mean bone in her body. Like that was written on the street, like on the pavement. And I'm like, exactly, there isn't. It doesn't come from that place.
Right, like right after she says that if Hanakawa can't score 100, then the test itself is at fault. Very soon after that is, I think, one of her finisher lines about just talking about Hanakawa in general, like one of the ending lines of that conversation, is that she can't say that she's jealous.
Yeah, I can't honestly say that I'm jealous.
Like, she's saying, like, this person's incredibly smart. If she can't get 100, the test is at fault. And we know that Senjigahara also has portrayed herself as an intelligent character who tests well, you know, the school and both male and female peers idolize her, but she doesn't ever want to be in the position of being the top of something.
In that, like, pedigree of, like, she's aware of what comes along with it. Putting your nose to the grindstone and having your foot on the pedal 100% of the time. It's stressful, and you know?
We think about what happened to her with the crab. Like, she wanted to remove herself. Like, she was heavily idolized at the time that Kanbaru knew her. They were this duo, the Valhalla duo. And then we had, obviously, a lot of stuff happen to her. The erasure of her memories over her mom. It seems like she just never wanted to be the person that was in the spotlight. She never wanted people to know what was going on with her. She never wanted to be the top of anything. She never wanted the pressure, or just maybe it was the fear of if she is in front of everyone, everyone's looking at her, that they would then want to know more about, have more of her. The idea of, I think it comes in, this is bridging with the end of the episode, the idea of people wanting more from her, more of herself, and because of what happened to her, that idea of like what she has to give, she wants to be able to decide who to give that to, and when there isn't any more or like enough for her to give someone something else, like she is in full control, autonomy wise, of like what of herself she gives to other people. Yeah, whether that's her past, her body, her tutoring sessions, anything. Like, she wants it to be completely her decision. And it makes sense with the idea that she wouldn't be jealous of someone that is class rep and top of the leaderboards for a test that everyone is, like, looking up to.
Yeah. Man, do you think that this is a manga?
Yes.
I would 100% of the time just, like, flat out be like, definitely, or like a novel or whatever. But they've done such a great job in anime production that I don't think I've ever been in a place where I've been excited to see the same shot used more than once in an episode of anime. Like, I genuinely have so much excitement to see how they are going to go about it because of how well done the dialogue is intertwined with it, and like the pacing of comedy or the pacing of like emotion is with it. They're so creative in terms of
It'd be a very dialogue-based manga.
yeah, in terms of like Senjugahara and coming up with the idea that she's going to get Araragi to call her by her first name by introducing the idea to us that, you know, Araragi's referring to her father instead, jokingly. Great, I loved it. But then to reuse it again in terms of animation, but in plot point, like when Araragi and Senjugahara are talking about how it was just the two of us, alone in my house, day and night, and Araragi's like, why did you have to phrase it that way? And then I believe the next line he says after that, I scored better than expected, and then, okay, so how did it go? Well, I scored better than expected. Even in math, which I always do well in to begin with. It's all thanks to your help. Thank you, Senjugahara. And then Senjugahara goes back. It's the same frame, it's the same animation, but it's father. It seems that Araragi wants to thank you. Like, it's just so exciting and creative. Like, to her opening the door to leave the car and coming back in. There's always like another twist to it with Bakemonogatari. And I've never seen anything like that done before. And it's so exciting. I hope that how well, I don't know, the pacing and the animation and the creativity behind the design, like when to use like an actual human arm with the 2D art of a watch on top of it. I hope that continues within the Monogatari series. It's one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, you bringing up the idea of seeing like a real human arm, it made me think of how intriguing it is, and I know we already talked about this a little bit, the idea that this was called Tsubasa Cat 2, but we got Senjugahara's opening, and why it made me think of it is because Hanakawa's opening is like a human girl walking around.
That's true. God, Senjugahara looks so good with her hair up.
Maybe it's because how would we have further... If Hanakawa's pushing us away in terms of like, don't worry about me and not wanting to be a burden, it would take a nudge, maybe like what happens here, of reminding Araragi talking with someone else that cares about Hanakawa about the idea of, wait, there's reason that Hanakawa could be going through a lot of stress and pressure right now, which will then be a drive. If someone doesn't want to be a burden, they're pushing you away, they're making sure you don't worry about them. This is the perfect device to use to make sure that Araragi jumps over that fence and is like, I'm here to worry about you, you know? So maybe that is why this episode was titled the way that it was, and why this was necessary to place here, because how else are you going to get over that fence of someone who has so fabulously created a I am here for you to call for advice or to help you with your relationship with Senjugahara. You don't have to worry about me. This person that almost seems like they so flawlessly carry everything that they need to carry.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Perfect.
I love the conversation with Senjugahara's dad. I think that it's perfect. It makes even more sense, everything that he was saying to Araragi and how he meant it, in hindsight, knowing that the space that they went to was something that Senjugahara like has so precious and close to her because of going there with her parents. Imagine what he felt like. Like, not only is my daughter talking to me and including me more and asking me favors to do for her, but she is asking me to do this to go to drive her to such a significant spot that I'm sure he holds dear to his heart as well. It paints such a good picture of Araragi just from what the thought was that went behind Senjugahara's decision to do this.
This location for this family is incredibly emotional. If this was a spot that the three went when everything was still good, and from the dialogue with the father in the car, you do get this idea that deep down
he probably places blame on himself for not only what happened probably with his marriage, but more caring about what his daughter went through, and that he wasn't there to protect her from that, and or even if he couldn't have protected her from it, at least been there initially in order to make her feel like she wasn't alone, and that she had support, and she wasn't at fault for ruining her parents' relationship. And honestly, like, I really love the idea that for this father, she's finally reaching out to him and asking, and even though it's not like asking your dad to hang out, you're trusting in him. You're asking him for help for things, which is exactly what he feels guilty for not doing for you. He is a workaholic, and so for him, his love language is probably to be able to take care of you, do things for you, provide for you, make sure you have the items that you want to have, and go to the school you want to go to. And that's, even if that might sound like materialistic in the way that I'm saying it, he wants to feel like he's be able to give you the things that you want, and to be asked for those things again. Oh, how good that probably felt for him, because then it would feel like she was counting on him again and desired his support and trusted him.
This will be one of the most rewarding shows to rewatch. You get insecure a little bit about your interpretation of things for the first time, especially when right after the episode we're trying to talk about it and understand it to its complete intention. That in Sendagahara's introduction, when there was an emphasis in the sexualization of her and how she portrayed herself to Araragi, with what comes afterwards as a form of explanation of what she went through, it's just, everything makes so much sense and is so well thought out in terms of writing, and I cannot wait to rewatch this show.
They had me tear up with this episode. Like, they really emotionally got me when she's listing all of the things that she has that are in her power to give, everything that she has in this world, that she wants to give all of it to him. But there is one thing that she can't yet. And the reason for that is because she doesn't want to hate him.
She's scared of losing him, and she knows that if she hates him, she will lose him, and it's very real.
And it's honestly, like, I will cry if I think about it any further than just having a quick little chat right here about it. And maybe at a later date I will want to talk about it again, but it is a very, like, real and very raw thing that happened there emotionally for that character that I feel like a lot of people could understand, or at least sympathize with. Yeah,
definitely.
And honestly, what a beautiful moment to have this character who the viewers view as entertaining, snappy, super cool, awesome, badass, you know? And yes, she is fully aware it's not, her banter isn't a front. Like, she knows that she's sassy like that. She's like, my verbal assaults, like, that's a part of me. And to have her have a moment where we are, as a viewer, fully able to, like, I would say, come full circle with understanding her character. Like, even in this discussion, I feel like we talked about the fact that this episode solidifies, for me at least, why she would be the type of character that would want to be more secretive, or would want to withdraw from people like Kanbaru and not want to get involved with things. Why she would be different than Hanakawa.
I couldn't imagine a better response from Araragi than what he did upon hearing her say, "I'm scared of losing you." Just grabbing her hand, not saying anything, let that speak for itself, which leads into my favorite line of the episode. But, you know, even though I can't say my life up until now was fortunate.
I circled this in my notebook.
If I got your attention because I was so unfortunate, then I think that was for the best in the end.
Ooh!
It's so good. Perfect.
I think that that's an interesting thing to unpack a little bit. in the same way that I wrote down the idea of like, what do you love about me? Like, I think that question can be dangerous because I think that some people would go into asking that question expecting the most profound and the most like catalog answers of like all these things someone loves about you. And I think that you're setting yourself up for failure if you have certain expectations about an answer to that question. Because if someone truly loves you, how can they encapsulate it into poetic words? You know, it might sound like cheap when someone answers that question. And I fear that a lot of times people would hear an answer and be like, this person doesn't really love me because they just picked a few things, you know? But what did you expect? That they were going to suddenly spit out like this journal monologue that had years of thought into it?
Or like, oh, they're giving me the cheap response of they love everything about me.
Everything about me, yeah. And here, what we have is super healthy, is that they're asking that question to each other, and they're both giving answers that I feel like people out there in the universe might get upset about if they were to receive that themselves, or they will think that that's like the easy answer. But neither of these people are perceiving it that way. Why? Because they aren't suspicious that the other person doesn't actually love them. It's more cheeky. It's more with the banter that they have, the relationship that they have. They don't need to ask each other, do you love me? Because they know it and they feel it, but they still want to hear it.
Yeah.
You still want to hear it, even if you know it and you feel it deep inside. And so when they're asking, what do you love about me? It's more like a, what do you love about me?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like, and any answer that they give because you know that they love you is going to be fun to hear. Is going to make you happy, is going to make you smile. And I brought that up because of the idea of the line that we were talking about at the time was, I got your attention because I was unfortunate or something unfortunate happened to me. And Senjigahara has a line that one of the things that she loves about Araragi is that when she's this damsel, he's this prince that rushes in to protect her and save her. And I think that that is interesting in the conversation too, because you always hear like, oh, you don't want to be that princess that's rescued, or you don't want to meet the person when you're at your lowest, you know? But it's like, that it doesn't matter the circumstances. What matters is what you guys do after that point.
Yeah.
Even if he met you when you were supposedly a damsel, that doesn't make your relationship or how your dynamic is going to be or how you're going to be forever. Because Senjigahara isn't a victim forever.
No.
She had something happen to her, and yes, she's a victim of that, but she doesn't carry on in her life treating herself in that way. She goes on, she gathers this strength. Her father articulates this idea that she has changed. She has come to love herself. And, okay, so that's just what I wanted to talk about a little bit.
I love her. I love him. I'm so curious to know if we're going to end up watching.
So yeah, I guess we
week.
can reiterate that. What are we supposed to watch next?
The 3 episodes of 13 to 15 that are OVA potentially, or the next series of Monogatari.
Please
help.
let us know. Please help.
You good?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We hope to see you next time.